Yes, sir.
What would I pardon myself for?
That's what I'm asking.
There's a glare.
No,
And I know that, but...
So, sir, on pardons, have you ruled out a pardon for yourself or any other additional members of the family?
for myself?
Yes, sir.
What would I pardon myself for?
That's what I'm asking.
No, I have no contemplation of pardoning myself for anything. I didn't do anything wrong.
In our investigation, we knew that the laptop was real. DOJ knew that the laptop was real. FBI knew the laptop was real.
In what can only be described as the craziest few days in American politics, Biden and Trump both confirmed some of the biggest so-called conspiracy theories, and in this video, I'm going to tell you all about them. And we're going to quickly start things off with what Donald Trump has said about the drone invasion that we've seen over the last few months.
This is great.
But is it anything, these drones, is there anything that people need to be worried?
No, I think it's terrible. I would like to find out what it is and tell the people.
And can you commit to some kind of...
In fact, I'd like to do that. Could we find out what that was, Susie? Okay. Yeah, why don't we find out?
Why don't we...
I can imagine it's an enemy, or there would have been,
right.
You know, people would have gotten blown up all over. Maybe they were testing things. I don't know why they wouldn't have said what it was. There are a lot of them flying over Bedminster, which is interesting.
First off, it's great to see that our new president can answer questions like a normal human being.
Yeah.
Doesn't just go blank like someone else.
Thank you all for being here. Now, who am I introducing?
Sorry.
Who's next?
Who's next? It's like either you're at Taco Bell next. Let me get to...
Distinguished guests,
Jesus help us.
the Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
Now I'm sure
Lord, that's bad.
That these drones are most likely our own and part of some kind of testing, but that would go completely against what the Pentagon told us.
Rule out that these are American drones?
I don't even know this one.
These are not U.S. military drones.
But then she went on to say this.
Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago.
The mothership. You ready for that?
Mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth.
No truth at all.
There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones.
Sounds like she said
Like,
Ryan.
if they're not our drones, and you say they're not from our enemies, then why in the world are we seeing these things over Los Angeles while the city
I didn't even know that. Did not even. Is that those crazy colors? What the hell? There they are. Jesus. Are those colors the glare? I don't know. It looks like a star and moon and whatnot. So, just don't mind the glare. Do mind it.
As far as I can see, President Trump's statement just confirms that those drones were part of some kind of a false flag operation
There you go.
to create panic. I just hope Donald Trump won't just let this theory get buried under all that official red tape, and we'll find out what was really going on in our skies. While this was an important statement, it was only one of the many shocking promises Donald Trump made during his many speeches. For instance, he also said this.
As the first step toward restoring transparency and accountability to government, we will also reverse the over-classification of government documents.
Good Lord.
In the coming days, we are going to make public remaining records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and other topics of great public interest.
Damn.
It's all going to be released, Uncle Sam.
I guess this
He
was
said
kind of
Uncle
expected
Sam.
because he apparently has a lot of admiration for JFK.
I asked Donald Trump about what he thought back then. What era we were going to make America great again. And he said the era of your uncle, John F. Kennedy.
I mean, Trump's announcement is huge because there are a million theories attached to the
Oh, is
cold-blooded
there
killings
ever?
of those three men.
Is
And
there
even though we
ever?
might have a good idea of who might be behind these crimes, it would end the debate once and for all if we got our hands on those official papers. And when President Donald Trump says he's going to declassify all such files, he does mean all of them.
I agree.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you?
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can see why President Bush looks kind of nervous.
He does look hella nervous, don't he?
Now, let's get
Oh,
one thing
God.
straight. You can hate Donald Trump for a lot of things, but you cannot deny the 9/11 tragedy has always been a personal issue for him. I mean,
sure.
just look at him making promises to NYPD officers on the 20th anniversary of that horrible day.
You have a question?
Spotlight's on me, I guess. Are you going to run again, Mr. President?
Oh, that's a tough question. Actually, for me, it's an easy question.
Okay.
I mean, I know what I'm going to do, but we're not supposed to be talking about it yet. From the standpoint of campaign finance laws, which frankly are ridiculous. Okay, you want to know the truth, but we have to live with it. But I think you're going to be happy. Let me put it that way. Okay, I think you're going to be very happy.
I guess if he releases those files, New York policemen aren't the only ones who are going to be pretty happy with him. And how can we forget that he has also promised to release the infamous Epstein files? Now, I can't even imagine the storm we're going to witness if those files ever do actually come out. However, I have to be honest with you. It's going to be a battle to declassify all these documents because these evil rich people aren't just going to let the world prosecute them. So we will have to keep reminding President Trump of his promise. But considering what our new Attorney General once said, I have some hope that Epstein collaborators face justice after all.
People in that report are still fighting to keep their names private. Sean, they have no legal basis to do so unless they're a child, a victim, or a cooperating defendant.
But you know who likely will not face any justice? Joe Biden's entire family.
Dude.
Because the old man decided to
Lord.
pardon all the bad eggs from his household.
With some pre-pardons. What the hell is that?
Pardoning 5 members of his family, 3 siblings, and 2 of their spouses.
Good
Look, I
Lord.
already told you in a recent video that he would likely pardon
That's
his brother
never
James since he
happened.
was the key
Never.
to proving Biden's Ukraine involvement. However, I certainly did not think he was going to pardon his entire family. Now, if you're wondering why he had to do it, I'll just ask you to see what this IRS whistleblower had to say.
In our investigation, we knew that the laptop was real. DOJ knew that the laptop was real. FBI knew the laptop was real. Yes.
Based on the notes of this October 2020 meeting, the FBI and IRS, when did they know
Frankly,
the laptop was real?
It was,
If they had came out and said the laptop was real before the election, I don't think Biden would have even made it. But
many
they
months
waited.
before October 2020. We were confirming certain aspects of it that it was real and legitimate as far back as late 2019.
There was no question in your mind, based on the universe of data, that the big guy was Joe Biden.
We corroborated that the big guy was Joe Biden, yes.
Did your supervisors accept that the big guy was Joe Biden?
There was no question ever that the big guy was referring to, I don't think to Joe Biden.
So FBI, IRS, everyone understood that.
And that's why
Look
when
at
we
that cool
were doing the
rainbow.
interviews,
Cosmic
the
print.
prosecutors in Delaware specifically told us that they didn't want to ask about
I don't even know why
Now,
there's
I would
rainbow
highly
balls coming through the
check out
window.
the full
Oh, it's my
interview
curtain.
on Catherine's X channel, but as you can see, pretty much all agencies knew about Hunter's laptop and
Ain't
what
that
Biden was
something?
allegedly doing.
And they
in
let it
Ukraine.
ride.
And yet here he is lying straight to our faces.
This stuff is true about Russia, Ukraine, China, other countries, Iraq. If this is true, then he's a corrupt politician. So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent baby. Joe, they're calling you a corrupt politician. Nobody.
President Trump, I want to say
Nobody's calling me that.
talking about the issue.
From hell.
President Trump,
Nobody.
we're talking about race right now, and I do want to stay on the issue of race.
Good
President
luck.
Trump,
I have to respond to that.
Please.
Because look,
Very quick.
there are 50 former national intelligence folks
Okay.
who said that what this he's accusing me of is a Russian plan.
They have said that this has all the five former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax? This is where he's going. The laptop is Russia.
This is stupid. See, I didn't watch it.
We're going to continue on the issue of race. Mr. President,
I had no idea it was this, like,
confirmed Joe Biden's involvement in his testimony.
cavalier.
In 2014, we believe that the Burden enterprise will be significantly enhanced by forming a partnership with Harvest Fund Management, a $300 billion Chinese financial service company closely connected to the Chinese Communist Party.
Whatever. Look at us, fool.
Henry Zhao, the Harvest Chairman.
Why can't you look at us?
Mr. Zhao was interested in this partnership because of the game-changing value add of the Biden family, including Joe Biden.
Why can't you look at us, sir?
The Burnham Harvest team post-vice presidency.
Your lack of eye contact is a bit of a burden to me.
The August 23rd, 2014, drafted for Hunter Biden that reflects this understanding. It states, and I quote, Michael, please also remind Henry Zhao of our conversation about a board seat for a certain relation of mine. Devin and I golfed with that relation earlier this week, and we discussed this very idea. And as always, he remains very, very keen on the opportunity, end quote.
I don't even know who I'm watching.
That this phrase, a certain relation of mine, refers to Vice President Biden. Devin told me about this golf course conversation shortly after it happened. Ultimately, this pair was deleted from the final version, with Hunter following our general rule of thumb on business deals: say it, forget it, write it, regret it.
That's dumb rules.
President Hunter called his father on May 4th, 2014 on a cell phone, put it on speaker mode to have him say hello to Yelena Babarina, a Russian oligarch and an investor in Rosemont projects, and her husband, Yuri Luskov, the former mayor of Moscow. Devin Archer was also there. Hunter said, well, I'm here with our friends. I told you we're coming to town, and we wanted to say hello.
Hello.
The vice president said hello, some pleasantries, and I hope you had safe travels, and then said, well, okay, you be good to my boy.
So you can see why Biden had to pardon all these
fudge.
guys. And I guess you can say that President Trump wasn't very happy about it.
Because he wasn't wrong.
I was surprised.
So it seems, you know.
President Biden would go and pardon his whole family, because that makes him look very guilty. And
I would think so.
I could have pardoned myself, my family. I said,
should have pardoned himself after all that 94 bullshit felonies.
Because I would have shown that you're guilty. I was a little bit surprised that he did it, because it makes him look guilty. I mean, he's going to have to live with it. Now, with that being said, it's unbelievable precedent.
Nobody's done anything like that before.
But the precedent is unbelievable. Now maybe every president that leaves office, they're going to pardon every president I've ever met.
Trump is not happy about Joe Biden pardoning the entire January 6th.
I mean,
everybody, how about this J6 committee? Why is he pardoning them?
They did nothing wrong.
The reason is because if you delete and destroy documentation, everything, they have nothing.
I know of someone that was there, and they said the doors were open. It was a rigged deal.
And when you do that,
I'm just going to say it briefly. I mean, good luck trying to break into your local Bank of America or whatever bank you have where you live. Can you do that? No. Can you break into the McDonald's after hours? No. So how are we breaking into the Capitol building? I'm just saying, I do know of somebody that was there. The doors were open.
I was a little surprised he did it. Liz Cheney, which is a lunatic.
Now, one of the congressmen who received this pardon is Jamie Raskin. And
wait, now I also remember when Liz Cheney was not very helpful for the Republican Party back in the day because she was gay. This is way back in the day.
The
But
seeking of pardons is powerful demonstration of the consciousness of guilt.
yeah,
The
right?
consciousness that you may be in trouble.
Yeah.
And that's what's so shocking about this. The people who were pardoned in the morning were pardoned because we were innocent, and Donald Trump was threatening Liz Cheney
Oh,
and Benny
he was so
Thompson
threatening.
and others with fraudulent political prosecutions.
Oh, you mean like
In fact, I would like to show you the lies of the entire mainstream media when it comes to saving these people.
Have you ever heard of somebody getting a preemptive pardon who was innocent of all crime?
Nope.
Just an innocent person. Have you ever
Why
heard of
would
that?
you
Just
get
somebody
one?
getting a blanket pardon.
Is there an innocent explanation for someone to seek preemptive pardons for family members?
Have we ever seen one before?
It's the president's own family.
Isn't that a bit of a conflict of interest?
First off, we
Alert.
should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the
boy.
audacity of a president who's so clearly concerned about his own criminal
You're right.
culpability.
Thank
The
you.
answer to that is going to be no. If you haven't done anything wrong, you sit there and go, what do you need a preemptive pardon for?
To issue these preemptive pardons, it will be cast in a way that he is protecting his family and protecting their reputation from, villainous exterior forces that are against them.
If he pardons people preemptively, he's essentially telling the public that
These people
have committed crimes.
Yep.
And we may not be aware of what they are, but the pardon is clear evidence that crimes have been committed.
I would
And
say
now
so.
that Biden has pardoned almost more people than the previous 13 presidents
Jeez
combined, people like Don Lemon are
Louise.
saying this.
But it's also because of the unprecedented, unusual administration that we have coming in, and he cannot trust his family in the hands of Donald Trump's Justice Department.
Now another person who received a last
I almost feel like I don't think. No, don't even get me started on this bullshit. This some baloney. Well, he already got away with it.
Not state though.
Kind of makes
Oh
sense, but the
shit!
question here
Thank you,
is,
sir.
why did Biden have to protect all these people? If
Yeah,
they
good
really are
question.
innocent, why in the world are they not eager to clear their names?
Right.
I mean, just as Jamie Raskin mentioned earlier, this just shows a guilty conscience. But then again, you need to have a soul first. Now, we all know what
Exactly.
many insiders have
Hustle,
told
what
us
have
about
you.
Joe Biden's mental state.
There's something going on. At least not the guy he was when he took office. Well, here's the tea. Joe Biden is like,
And you get a couple drinks in somebody, and that's what I was gonna say. He's not. You don't even know what he's saying. Period.
And who's that?
So my final
Yep.
question is this. Should a president have the ability to decide someone's guilt when he apparently doesn't even know
Or his name,
I would love
or
to
who's
know your
next,
answer to this rather
and who
important
was
question,
next
so
was
don't forget to
damn
share your thoughts in the
the
comment section below. Thank you
president
so
or
much
whatever
for
they would
watching
call
today's
it
video, and I hope to see you.
in from India. What was this video, real quick? So I can give him a shizzle shout. Hustle and what? Just hustle? Okay. HUSTL, hustle.